Hello, in this video we will discuss about the calcium phosphate metabolism, homeostasis we will discuss, and how to calcium work in our body. So the calcium is very important for muscle contraction as well as the heartbeat, and there is a lot of things, for example nerve impulse. While the phosphate group is used for the DNA synthesis, ATP synthesis, and GTP and ATP. So here is the light is also, and here is the food which that's contain vitamin D, and vitamin D will be intake in as a dietary, or the ultraviolet radiation which that will convert the cholesterol into the 7-dehydrocholesterol, and this 7-dehydrocholesterol which that will be converted into the pre-vitamin D3, and this pre-vitamin D3 will convert into the vitamin D3. After this vitamin D3 which that will be bind the vitamin D binding protein, after binding to move into the liver through a portal vein or circulatory system. So here is the 25 hydroxylase enzyme used to convert in the liver to 25 hydroxy vitamin D3, ultimately go and circulate into the blood circulatory system, and 1 and 25 dihydroxy vitamin D3 formation. And this is very important, and 25 hydroxy vitamin D3, net effect of this is the parathyroid gland to increase the parathyroid hormone increases, and serum calcium and phosphate will be decreased. So that is the 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3 increases serum calcium and phosphate. So here you can see this is the 1 and 25 dihydroxy vitamin D3 can be inhibit the kidney urinary system for the increase by the increase of 1 alpha hydroxyase enzyme activity, and increase the phosphate excretion, and the decrease the urinary calcium excretion, as well as on the other hand the phosphate group is also decrease excretion. But here is the inhibition through when increase the 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3, when increase, so it will inhibit the parathyroid hormone production, while here you can see inhibit parathyroid hormone secretion will lead to decrease the urinary uptake of phosphate and calcium excretion. So the calcium and phosphate will be excrete more when the parathyroid hormone secretion will be more. So the urinary excretion will be more. While here is the serum which that contain calcium and phosphate and vitamin D decreasing in the blood circulatory system will lead to via a calcium sensing receptor to the parathyroid hormone to release, after the releasing for the uptake of the calcium and phosphate due to the stimulation of the parathyroid, and the chronic low magnesium level also lead to inhibit this parathyroid gland. So while here is you can see this is the 125 dihydroxy vitamin D which that will be uptake the dietary calcium and phosphate and vitamin D3, while here is the other local effect in target tissue which that will also lead to increase due to the 125 dihydroxy vitamin D used for the absorption of calcium and phosphate. So remember, vitamin D is used for the absorption of calcium and phosphate, and also the vitamin D absorbed from the digestive system, which that is also increase the calcium uptake and phosphate. So here is the parathyroid hormone when stimulated to produce more osteoclast activity, and bone resorption will be occur, and chronic high doses when increase the parathyroid hormone will bone resorption and release of calcium and phosphate. Low intermittent dose increase bone form, but increase of the parathyroid hormone secretion will lead to deformation of the bone for the calcium and phosphate homeostasis in the blood. So on the other hand, here is the vitamin D used for the increased bone mineralization, osteoclast activity, and bone resorption at high dose, and regulate bone protein expression. So on the other hand, important thing here is the also trigger the calcitroic acid, and calcitroic acid which that will lead in the presence of 25 hydroxyase enzyme used for the inactivation if the production of the more production of the calcium in the blood. So the negative feedback mechanism will be occur rather than the positive feedback. So let's begin to understand. Here is the osteoclast bone resorption. So this is the bone resorptive cell, osteoclast, while the osteoblast is used for the bone forming cell. So here is the bone, which that is bone, which that is remember. And let's begin to understand how osteoclast is the bone resorption, but the osteoblast is the bone formation characteristic. So here is the osteoclast precursor, which contain a macrophage colony stimulating factor bind with the CFMS, and here is the dendritic cell specific transmembrane protein which that is also present, and also here is the rank receptor are present, and this is the rank which that will be bound with the osteoprotrugerin, which that when OPG will be bound, the basically here you can see, and it will not work, and it means the calcium level will be normal if or excess of the calcium. When the calcium level will be dropped in the blood circulatory system, so the osteoblast working will be inhibited while the osteoclast activity will be increased. So here you can see this is the bind with the rank L with the osteoblast is the precursor. Osteoblast bind with the rank L with the rank molecule, and after this binding it will be basically the osteoclast differentiation, because the osteoclast containing rank will be not bind with the OPG. So it means, so here is the transforming growth factor beta, which that will lead to trigger the which will trigger to inhibition. Sorry, so it will transforming growth factor will inhibit beta, inhibit, and estrogen will inhibit. So the bone density and bone formation will be occur. While here is the 125 dihydroxy vitamin D and parathyroid hormone and PGE2 and interleukin 1, 11 and tumor necrotic factor alpha and glucocorticoid, which that will trigger the bone deformation. So the resorption of the bone for the increase of the calcium and phosphate in the blood circulatory system. So here is the osteoclast precursor. This osteoclast precursor will bond with the rank and rank L through a osteoblast. After this interaction will lead to a proliferation of the osteoclast, and due to the OPG will not bind. If the OPG will be bind, if the OPG will be bind with a rank receptor, a rank molecule, so after this binding it will be inhibit the bone resorption, while when it will be not bind the OPG, so the thing is that the formation will be occur, bone deformation. So after this maturation will bind with the bones, the osteoclast. This mature osteoclast contain rank L. So in this way you can see this is the basically the function for the triggering mechanism through a vitamin D and regulation as well as parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone will resorption of the bone, while the vitamin D used for the deposition of the calcium from one place to another. For example, digestive system will absorb the into the blood circulatory system. So here is the carbonic anion. Basically will move out from the carbonic acid dissociation through carbonic anhydrase enzyme, and the chlorine is also move. Chloride ion will be move inside. So here is the water and carbon dioxide will bond with the carbonic anhydrase to produce carbonic acid, and it can be it can be reversible reaction, and that produce the proton and chloride ions. This proton and chloride can be moved into the resorptive pit, which that contain more acidic, so the pH will be drop from 5 to 4. And in this way, this is the resorptive pit formation through osteoclast between the osteoclast and bone. So remember that here is, you can see, this is the podosome formation and the osteopontin. This osteopontin and podosome will not allow to move outside this acid, because this is the acidic environment. So here the ruffled border are present where the binding, and it is a pit like structure are present, and the mitochondria will release the secretory vesicle, which that is also contain acid. So the cathepsin K is also protein, which that will be move also into the resorptive pit, where the resorption of the bone will be occur. So the cathepsin K as well as secretory vesicle from the mitochondria and chloride and proton will be moved inside to form hydrochloric acid and citric acid. Citric acid is come from the mitochondria through a Krebs cycle. So the cathepsin K is move inside also for the resorption of the bone. So here the bone salt dissolution and matrix degradation will be occur, and the calcium and phos will be released through a phosphatase enzyme also. And on the other hand, the collagen fragment also produced, and this will be moved outside in the extracellular matrix into the extracellular fluid. So the collagen fragment as well as the calcium and phosphate group will be moved inside when the blood calcium and phosphate will be dropped. After the dropping of this calcium will lead to positive feedback mechanism, and in this way the calcium and phosphate will be increased. So this is a positive feedback mechanism, and when increase, this calcium will inhibit the osteoclast activity and osteoblast activity. So this is the negative feedback. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Bye.